Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Howdy, y'all. Red.olaughlin here, or Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I believe today is part 3 of how do we help new authors get started. And there's a lot of advertisements that we see out there in social media, really a lot. But periodically they show up in emails and who knows what else. But they talk about the subject of AI. You know, let's write a book on AI. Get your book done over the weekend on AI. We'll get your book published on AI. You know, AI, artificial intelligence, it's been around for a while. We use it a lot. You write something and you do a spell check. That's a form of AI. So if you're using a spell check for grammar, you're using your Microsoft Word, Grammarly. There's a lot of them out there, and that's all a function. But now AI, over the last several years, literally 3 or 4, has exploded. And when you talk to somebody, oh, Chat GPT, well, you know, that used to be the most available, but there are so many of them out there now. In fact, you see them that there's like, you know, get this bundle here of 30 AI packages that this one does a particular function, this one does another one. And so where do you go? What do you do? That's kind of what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So if I'm editing something and I want AI to help me, and let's say just for practice here, we'll use Chat GPT as the primary one. I use it, and you have to be real careful about what you ask. What you ask, you get right back. But you know, if I say, "Here's chapter 1, edit it for me," you know, it's going to come back. I might have 15 pages. It's going to come back with 2 paragraphs, because to AI, edit means to summarize. So there's a particular way you ask a question. You know, I want AI to review this for grammar, whatever. But you have to be very, very careful about how you ask the question, that prompt, that script, whatever you want to call it. But there's a question that you ask AI. And so if I'm looking for it, I found probably a small phrase that I use, 15, 20 words, and it will allow me to put my document in there and edit it appropriately. But maybe I want it edited for 8th grade level. That, I think, is a very good way of using AI. It's my what do you call it? Intellectual property. So AI is just bending it a little bit. I still own the copyright to all of that information. But if I tell AI to write a book for me and it develops the characters and the plot and it goes through and everything is done, and I didn't do anything other than just tell AI to write it, now we have a problem with copyright because the copyright is only available for human purposes. So if I'm using an artificial intelligence to write a book, really can't copyright it, I believe, legally. So that's a question that you really need to talk to somebody in that field, intellectual property and copyrights, because I've seen both. I've been in meetings where we talked about it, but I think to be on the safe side, your intellectual property, fine. You want it tweaked by AI, fine. I don't think there's any problem there whatsoever. But if you're going to generate all of your content from AI and use it explicitly, then we have a problem. But if I go into AI, I say, give me 15 different pathways that Alzheimer's develops in the body. It'll do a pretty good job of identifying 15 different areas where Alzheimer's will actually develop. And so let's say the first one is your most common one, your beta amyloid protein. And you want to know, well, what causes the beta amyloid protein to aggregate? You can ask AI and say, give me 10 things. I always go with a multiple on those kinds of things because I want to see what kind of development is there. Okay, so this APP protein, I need to look into that further. And so as I'm doing my research, I may use AI as part of my criteria for identifying specifics of a functionality, a pathway that I am as a researcher. So AI is very valuable, but I get the information, I take that information, and then I go do research on it. Then I write it from my own content. But the first list of things came up. Now I may find, let's say, I've been going through shingles here for the last couple of months, and I'm looking at things that will address what they call post-herpetic neuralgia. This is where you still have the pains from the shingles, but there's no rash from the shingles. And so I'm going through trying to do some research now, and I'll look at, gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, well, let me look at that one. So I start looking at what can I find out? And there's a lot of places to look. And information-wise, if you want to use AI as a writing tool, again, a tool, so one available, go to YouTube. I think that's probably one of the best places nowadays to do research. And so you go to YouTube and you say, AI for authors, and you look in there, and there's a lot. I'm going to talk about a lot of different tools that are available. 7 best AI writing tools review, 5 best AI software 2024, AI tools for writers, the top 5 best AI tools for writers and authors in 2023. And there's just so many things there. So spend a little time. If you're going to use it, understand what is available to you and how to best use it. Because it's your intellectual property as you're writing, and you're just using this as a tool. I use it for Amazon descriptions. In other words, there you have a short description on the back of your book. I have a longer description in Amazon. So if I say, here's my table of contents, and I put that table of contents into ChatGPT, and I say, generate a KDP Amazon book description, give me 300 words. And it comes right back. And then I'll say, do it again at an 8th grade level. Okay. Do it again for 50 words. And so now I have a short description that I can use on the back of the book. I can do the same thing with my author biography. I take my entire resume, focus in on where I think it's important, give it to AI and say, give me an author bio suitable for the back of a paperback. Give me AI 250 word author bio for Amazon KDP, and it will generate that. Now, that's not copyrightable. It's just a summary of what I put in, but it gives me something I can use. If I don't like what I'm seeing, fine. I've used AI for generating titles for books. I can take that same table of contents, the introduction, and say, I need a 5-word title. Give me 10 of them. And now I have 10 different titles, all 5 words. And I look at them and I said, I can take that word out of that one, and kind of mix and mash something that I want. But I find it to be very, very, very valuable when you're looking at subtitles. Somebody goes into a bookstore and they're wandering through. They see a book. The cover is either going to capture them or not. If it captures them and they go over and they look at the book and they have it there in front of them, okay, they may take it off the shelf, but the title may not mean much to somebody, but the subtitle is the real nitty gritty of what that book's about. So I want to make sure I have a very, very good subtitle. Sometimes I'll put subtitles out on Amazon, on Facebook, and I'll say A or B, B or C. So in other words, I want to be able to capture somebody and let them know what's in that book. So as I do that, I can use AI to come up with 10 different subtitles, and I mix and match the ones that I like best. But if somebody's looking at the title, the cover captures them, they look at the subtitle. If that is of interest to them, they're generally going to turn the book over and look at the back. You have 2 or 3 short sentences about the author, 2 or 3 short sentences about what's in the book. And if that captures them, they maybe spent 5 seconds looking at the front of the book, maybe 10 seconds looking at the back. They're either going to put it back on the shelf or they're going to open it up and look at the table of contents. Chapter 5, page 71. They'll go in the book. And if you can capture them enough to look at the book, pick it up, now you might actually have a sale, because if that is interesting enough to them, your subtitle, the book description on the back, and then they go to the table of contents and actually look at something that's in your book, now you may have actually sold something. So that AI can be super helpful to generate that little blurb on the back of the book, the subtitle that captures the essence of the book. So there's a lot of value to be using that. I've used AI to help my clients. I'm a publisher, and I had one recently, and they wanted a particular 1870s house, Texas, mid-prairie, with windmill and this. And so I generated, I think, 5 or 6 different covers using AI, just by telling AI what to do. And so I got different covers. I sent all of them to the author. I said, is this kind of what you're looking for? And they came back and said, yeah, number 2 and number 4. Okay. So I then took the number 2 and number 4 and I sent it to a designer in Fiverr, Five, like 5, rr.com. I use them a lot. Generally speaking, for most cases, I can get a paperback and a ebook cover, generally $25 to $40, and have something that's pretty usable. So I send this to a designer and I say, my client wants something like this. And so I send them, and they have a good idea, and I give them the rest of the details. This is a 1875 mid-prairie, whatever the details are in the book. And then I get something back that now I can own, because it's a copyrightable thing that I bought, and I can give it to my client or sell it to my client, and boom, I've used AI to clarify exactly what they want on that cover. Now, sometimes the covers can be a little bit different, but generally speaking, if you can tell me what you want on the cover, AI can generate an image, and that image can then go to designers. Okay, I know what you want. And then they can do whatever they want within their scope of the tools that they have available to them. So I find that cover art is something that AI can do. The title, subtitles, the back of the book, the author by, all those things are something that AI can do. But the most critical part is, how do you talk to AI? So that's something that you really need to hone in on. So if I'm using AI in my book to generate whatever, I put my book into Amazon KDP, and they're going to ask me, did you use AI in any part of this book? And there's a little box that says yes or no, just check it. And so that's their part of the thing. Now, I can generate all sorts of things with AI. Maybe I want to help my marketing campaign within social media. So I can use that to generate social media posts. I can use it to generate all sorts of illustrations. There's just an endless way that I can use it, but I would not be asking ChatGPT to generate an illustration. I wouldn't be using ChatGPT to generate a picture. There are other AI tools that specifically talk about those kinds of things. So as I'm looking at those things, I want to make sure that I'm asking the right question, and the response that I get back is what I'm expecting. If I get back something, I remember the first time I put it in, edit this, I lost everything. I can't, well, I didn't lose it. It was still in the book. But when I put it in there, I said, what happened? And so you can be very careful about what you are asking for specifically, because it's going to give you back exactly what you asked for. But just the word edit may not necessarily be understood by AI the way you understand it. So maybe edit means summarize in that particular artificial intelligence that you're using. Oh, anyway, the AI is something that I think you can easily use. You can use it to help generate your content. You can say, okay, I have a book. I want, give me 12 chapter titles. And then with each chapter, you can say, give me 15 things that I should consider here for chapter 1. And it's going to give you a lot of guidance. So you have, here's my book, here's my chapter titles, here's my content outlined. Now I start writing and I do my research and whatever I have. But I have a very good source that's giving me material, but I'm using it as a tool to say, okay, fine, let me go research a little bit more on whatever topic it may happen to be. If I'm writing on vitamins, maybe I want to know more about tocopherols and tocotrienols. There are things in there that I can use to go do that research. I write about it. There's my script. Okay, I don't want that one. That's not what I want. I need a little bit more here. So I go back to AI and I ask another question or two. And it gives me the ability to create my content and know that I have some level of agreement with whatever else somebody else might be looking for. So within that realm, there's a lot of good information. I get done. I can redo the table of contents based on what's in each chapter. So, okay, I may have chapter 1 with a certain title, but give me 4, 5, 6 chapter titles for this information. And it spits it right out. And so I like this title over here for that chapter better than the one I had. That becomes a new chapter title. Lots and lots of things you can use. Again, that's a tool. So as I'm developing my writing for my book, this is a good place to start. But you have to have an idea of what you want. So maybe you go to YouTube, you look at the 5 best tools 2024 for authors. You do a little bit more research on what is the best AI tool. What's the best free AI tool? Free is good. There are some AIs that incorporate, let's say ChatGPT is actually incorporated within another one that's free. There's just so many things that literally with it 6 months ago, I was attending a webinar and they're learning about AI and whoa, everything has changed. And they're literally, you have to get to a place where somebody's saying, this is what's good right now. And once you master that, you don't need to worry about the new ones coming out. Keep what you have. Be very, very good at being able to use that. So that's what I think you can use AI in your writing, your content creation, your descriptions, all those things. Use it in your social media marketing. So AI is a very, very good tool for an author. So now I have a book that I wrote. I used AI a lot in there to generate things that gave me the ability to create my own content. I used it as a guide to generate information. Now, can I use AI to create characters and plots and things? Oh, absolutely. There's endless ways of doing that. There's AI coming out, probably already out, where, if I want to have, give me 1990s Tokyo, Japan, nighttime, light rain, wet pavements, a girl 20 years of age, red dress, walking. They'll actually generate a movie based on the text that you're telling them to do. I have access to having what I'm saying right now being said in French, Portuguese, Japanese. My lips would sync with the actual Portuguese words or the Japanese words, and it would be exactly what I'm saying in English, said in Portuguese, said in Japanese, and you would not have any ability to discern anything differently, because the AI actually takes my lips and makes my lips agree with what is being said in that other language. So AI is a great tool if you want to be able to capture a Portuguese audience or Japanese audience. So there's many things that you can do in that regard. So I have my book. It's written. I used AI, checked the block on KDP Amazon where it says, did you use AI in the creation of this book? And you're safe. You have the copyright because it's your own content. Not much to worry about there. So now you can use AI to do your marketing. There are a lot of different things that can be done with that. So if I want to generate Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, take the AI, ask the right questions, get a series of things that you can put up there periodically. Use it to tweak. Okay, I don't like that one. Let's rewrite it. Write it for this reading level. Write it for whatever. So lots of things that if I know the right kind of question to ask, I can get a much better result using AI. I think for a new author, don't rely on it. Use it as a guide. I would be, if you can't take something and rewrite it in your own words, then you're not the author. You're just using something to write for you. But maybe sometimes you need that help. And regardless, there's a AI option to help you get through that. Illustrations, whatever it may happen to be. So as an author, now I have a book and I can use, how do I want to market this book? I can ask those kind of questions. How do I want to market this book on social media? Ask AI for that kind of questions. There's a lot of information. I keep saying a lot of, there is super, but I think the biggest thing I can tell you about using AI is the questions you ask AI are the most critical things that you need to know. Once you can even ask AI, what kind of questions do I need to ask in order to edit this book? What kind of questions do I need in order to do something else? Proofreading is AI does a great job of proofreading. That one I do use, and okay, fine, I like that. But sometimes AI can be a little sterile. I think it's probably the best word. And so maybe I want to take that AI generated thing that I cleaned up and I had them come back and readjust for 8th grade level. Let me put it back into Grammarly. Let me put it back into Google Grammar. There's a lot of things that I can do now that will add a little bit more humanity to my writing. A lot of artificial intelligence is very sterile. And so you want to have that little human element back in there. So take a look at that, put it into Grammarly is a good place to go because it's going to correct a lot of stuff. And so even though it looks good in AI, maybe you need to do another editing process using something else. And when you do that, this is where you start getting into, that's not the kind of words that humans use. That's not the right way in which humans speak. So if I'm looking at this thing, I want to be able to do that. I find that using Microsoft Word readback, I put my paragraph or chapter in there and I watch as the yellow dot goes across every word and I hear that coming back to me. And so sometimes even our own hearing, that doesn't sound right. It looks okay, but it doesn't sound right. So maybe I need to highlight that paragraph, go back in, clean it up myself, put it back into AI, ask for, to rewrite it. Anyway, but that readback function within Microsoft Word, I think, is a great way to help you edit your book, get that thing proofread appropriately. So if you're looking for help, the Microsoft Word readback is number one for me. And let's see here. I'm just going down my checklist of things I wanted to talk about today. I think that's pretty much it. I failed to mention at the beginning of this video that we're on YouTube, we're on E360 TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Zizzle, Android TV. This show is seen in many different parts, live on YouTube and others as it's coming out. So with that regard, I am going to get ready to, I don't see anything else I want to talk about today, so I'm leaving a little bit early. But when you're looking at AIs as tools, look for free. Look what kind of value you're getting out of it. What are other people using? That's kind of what the last thing I'm going to leave you with. I'm leaving a little bit early today, so apologize for that. And we will catch you back next week, hopefully with a much better presentation than get you back into the writing world. With that, take care. I'll catch you next week. Bye now.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you. 5 little-known secrets for dementia caregivers with Tracy Cram-Perkins.
Hi there, I am Tracy Cram-Perkins, the host of the Dementia Home Care Show here on USA Global TV and Radio. I am also the author of the book of the same name. And you'll see this QR code. This is for an extended version of this same talk. So if you want to see the full hour-long version, feel free to scan the code and go to that website. Stick with me. We'll talk about 5 little-known secrets to make it a little easier to do dementia caregiving. What you're seeing on the left-hand side is a healthy aged brain, age 55 and above. The one you're seeing on the right is an Alzheimer's disease brain. It is in moderate disease. It is shrinking. It has holes in it. The memories that were in those holes no longer exist. When you're learning something, let's say in kindergarten, you learn how to tie your shoelace. Well, then by the time you're in 2nd grade, your brain remembers that information from tying the shoelace and applies it so you can learn more quickly how to tie more complex knots. So the brain is hardwired to do this for us, so it helps us learn faster so it doesn't take us long to acquire knowledge. The brain is looking for the information and they pick the closest to wherever that hole is. Let's look at some tips that we can use to help do that.
These are 5 simple tools you can use as a dementia caregiver to help your loved one. The whiteboard is a useful tool in recording the day's activities and the answers to repetitive questions. The calendar clock is a very useful tool to orient your loved one on the day, the date, and the time, and remind them of upcoming appointments. The communication cards are a great tool to bridge the gap when they can no longer tell you what's wrong. And then there's the pill minder for when your loved one is still able to take pills but needs prompting. The final tool I want to share with you is the memory book. It tells your loved one's story. It's a great tool for distraction, redirection, also as a conversation starter, and telling you where they are in their story so you know how to answer their questions.
Music is probably the most powerful tool in your toolbox after laughter. Music is a way to maintain connection. It sticks with your brain longer than any other thing, including reading. When you're having an issue with somebody, you can play their favorite music if you move them to another room, something that makes them happy, or you can start singing songs together from their childhood. These are some of my favorite books for caregivers. My show airs on the third Tuesday of every month, and you can view past episodes on YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
This program has been brought to you in part by Tracy Cram Perkins. Connect with her and order her book at tracycramperkins.com. For more information about Alzheimer's disease, support resources, and how you can help, contact the Alzheimer's Association at 1-800-272-3900 or visit their website at www.alz.org. They offer 24/7 helpline support and a wealth of information to assist you and your loved ones. This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.